All right. Welcome to Falls Count Anywhere. I am your not usual host, John Restino. As Charlie, boy, I got a big seat to fill. Charlie's busy doing I don't know. He's got some family stuff, work stuff, all that going on, so he's not
Yeah.
here. But
Yeah,
here
well,
I
that's
am.
great. Welcome aboard. And as usual, you're with us anyway. So, hey.
Yeah, no, I'm nervous. I was getting ready because I do those other. This is different. I love this more than even the other shows I do because this is fun.
Right.
But I appreciate it, Chris, you guys, and Charlie for letting me to sit in because this is going to be good.
And this is our childhood. This is our life, our hobby, our passion, our love. And
it's amazing.
We can go all day and night, right?
I know. It's amazing when you guys first started this show and we were lucky enough to bring it into Gorillas Inc., how I forgot how important this was to my childhood. It's crazy. And to growing up all the way through as I got older. This stuff's always been in my mind because you would think back, and there's times I would think back and just start laughing at some of the stuff, Piper's Pit things that would just crack you up.
Right.
And that's why, Chris, me and you connecting, because we've been knowing each other for a long time.
Right.
Unbelievable. Your library of stuff. My God, man.
And it just keeps growing and growing.
Yeah. And it's great. I love it. I can't thank you
believe
enough.
I got that All-Star Classic champion or All-Star California Championship Wrestling footage. I mean, that just blew my mind. That was great from the 70s. Wow.
That's priceless.
I wish I could get more.
That's priceless. That's unbelievable. I
mean, there's so much footage out there across this country that, I think people are sitting on, like maybe from Buffalo, from North Carolina, who's got those Mid-Atlantic shows, maybe from VHS or Betamax. I believe it's out there, and hopefully we can get it somehow. But yeah, we do got a lot.
Well, yeah, the 70s, 80s, and I guess 90s too, and probably even the early 2000s, maybe a little as kids were growing up. Man, this was the best. We've talked about this before, but I've never got to talk about it with you right on here. Those days of the whole Saturday revolving around this stuff, all the way till 8 o'clock at night, even. Oh, then midnight if you're lucky enough to where we live.
Midnight, WWOR Championship Wrestling, blowing the trumpet.
Yeah.
The beginning of the program, then, and Vince McMahon and Pat Patterson.
Pat Patterson, what a legend! And you know what else? Right in our area, for you out there that don't realize maybe where we're from, we're right near Canada. We're in Western New York, so we're right near Canada. And if I look out my window, it's Canada. I see it right across. That's my cross the street neighbor. Maple Leaf Wrestling was really incredible wrestling. And do you remember the beginning? It was such a classic opening.
Yes, you know what? I was thinking about that. I have the beginning and the ending, and by watching the ending, I realized there's Piper fought Dino Bravo from Maple Leaf Gardens. I don't have that match, and there was another one that I don't have that they show on the program. But like I said, I think it's out there.
Yeah. Oh, it's out there. It's definitely out there because. Geez, I can remember the opening to Maple Leaf Wrestling. It was like a orchestra music or something, but it was, just cool stuff. And everyone out there, wherever you lived, I mean, you guys have talked to people from Minnesota. So much happened up there in Minnesota even as I remember, because we'd be lucky enough sometimes to catch that. Some great, right? Some of the greats are from that state.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, look at that's why we thank and appreciate those guys with the AWA Unleashed podcast. And I ordered a shirt from them. I'm going to be supporting that. And they support us. And so that's great. And Vern Gagne trained a lot of who's who in the business.
And you know what, too? I just want to remind the people that watch you, the thousands that watch this show. Don't worry. Lots of guests are coming. Chris, you got people lined up. We're going to have a hell of a time getting them all together. So we got a big load of people coming in, and it's going to be great. And yeah, you know what else too? I want to say, and I never get a chance to sometimes, go back, and I'm going to start doing this on Gorillas Inc. I got to start replaying some of our old shows. You got some great best ofs. This Rip Rogers and people like that have been on here. Unreal.
Yeah, Mr. Crockett. A lot. Yeah. And Of course, we thank them and appreciate their time and help, and still continue to this day helping us getting other guests too. So
Yeah.
that's
No,
great, and we got to thank our viewers out there, right, John?
definitely. Yeah. We got you and Charlie have really grown a loyal support because I see it every week. Being that I'm, with Gorillas Inc. and stuff, um, you know, we see it with you guys done a great job. We see it with the advertisers that want to be on this show, and you'll see the new ones we have that want to be a part of Falls Count Anywhere. I got to ask you something though. You
Right,
got me.
but
Oh,
you're
go ahead.
also getting us on the platforms. I mean, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on
Spotify now.
Twitter. I
Yeah,
mean, so we're growing all the way around.
love it. I got to ask you something. Now, I didn't, much like you. Well, although here I have to give you a quick, real fast. I was watching WWE wrestling when my kids were little, so that would have been like in the, let's say around 2003, 4, and that 5, 6, like from probably 2003 to probably like 2009, let's say, in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I hadn't watched in a while because you know what? The 90s, sadly for me, I missed out a lot of the 90s because in 1990, well, just had our daughter's birthday yesterday, so she was born in 93. I kind of started, I missed out on a lot of good stuff. I missed the whole Attitude Era almost. I really do. I kind of missed the era.
Yeah.
In
right.
there. But anyways, now you got me to watch something called AEW.
Yes.
Wow, that was good, and I thank you for letting me see it.
That is to me like WCW. Remember the Monday Night Wars? WCW versus WWF, WWE, whatever. It's kind of, they're like two big companies. Although we got Tony Khan from AEW bought Ring of Honor, so we don't have Ring of Honor separate anymore. But we got the NWA on Fight TV there and on YouTube, and there's just so many different other independent promotions. Our good friend, shout out to Sean Kramars, right? Tirelessly working throughout the East Coast every weekend, commentating production shows. Great for him. And this whether it's classic wrestling, pro wrestling, just like you said, it's just never going anywhere, and kind of why we developed this show. And we know there's a want and a desire for it. So it's great for us, great for everybody.
Well, that's like, I've heard you and Charlie talking when I'm sitting in the studio, and you're right. WWE is tough. It's tough to pay. We got together, right? Remember we watched WrestleMania, and boy, that took forever. I mean, there was at one point I remember where I'm like, okay, great, now we've gotten to the point where the main event's coming with Lesnar, and there was remember then there was like 2 more matches between, and it just really, I don't know. That's why AEW just has a good feel to it to me. There's something about it that makes it feel wrestling. I don't know, not entertainment.
It's less of the show voting, less of the BS storyline, less of the backstage, whatever. It's like WCW. They get to the wrestling. They got good matches on TV, even on TV compared to pay-per-view too. I mean, they're having a pay-per-view coming up
right
the end of this month.
May 29th is something called what's it called? Double or Nothing.
Yes, from Vegas.
Yeah, and we're gonna have this is what I was gonna talk about. I saw I watched a little bit this week, and I'm really intrigued by that Owen Hart thing they're doing, that like tournament.
Yes, I can't believe that. That's great, though. Tony Khan finally taken the initiative to start recognizing Owen Hart and the Hart family, where McMahon dropped the ball.
I think it was outstanding, and there was a match on there. It was Jeff Hardy against Darby, I don't know, All In or something.
Allin, yep.
And it was great. It was an unbelievable. It should have been a pay-per-view. It was an unbelievable matchup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're getting these matches for free every Wednesday night on Dynamite on TBS. I mean, it's great.
And Hardy wins the match, so he moves on in the tournament. And I thought this was interesting, what someone said that I happened to see online. He's the only guy left that actually ever was in the ring with Owen Hart. So I thought that was kind of interesting that Jeff Hardy moved on. And boy, Jeff Hardy, I always wanted to get your thought on him. What a troubled, obviously we know the history, right? I don't know whatever the substance abuse was, but for some reason he always comes right there. He always comes back. The talent, is that what it is, or what is it with him, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it obviously, AEW reached out to him and helped him, and even years ago, NWA TNA, where he was there, they helped him out. So we got to thank the companies for thinking of him and offering him to help, and him agreeing to do it to carry on his great career.
And you think about it, it's not much with him. He doesn't do much talking. It's more for him, it's actually more the extreme part of it, because on the microphone, you don't say much,
Yeah. But no, I guess, does his talking in the squared circle, right?
And that's good. Now, someone else who does a lot of good talking, and then we're going to get to the classic stuff here before I keep wasting, I'm not wasting time. This is still good stuff. CM Punk, I saw him. The show was in Long Island. He comes out in an Islanders jersey, but unfortunately, on the back was John Tavares' name, and they hate him there because he left to go to Toronto. So he's being, he got all the booze, and I saw he fought a local guy from there. I wrote his name down, like John Silver or something, and now Punk is taking on Hangman Adam Page for the title. Does Punk win, do you think? What do you
I believe so. Just like real quick, I don't see or believe Adam Page should have been the AEW champion at all. That's like Matt Cardona having the 10 pounds of gold, the NWA. You know how classic that belt is. Matt Cardona, the NWA champion. I've gone on different things and said it's just like a disgrace to the NWA to have somebody like that as their champion. But I don't know. Yes, I see CM Punk winning, probably holding on for quite a few months.
He'd be big for them. I mean, he's such a huge. He's him and Daniel Bryan or whatever, or Bryan Danielson. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember when those guys. I was still watching back then on WWE, and you kind of had the feeling they weren't going to last. They were going to go. I mean, you could just tell because things were happening that they seem like they're more of an old school type wrestler. They want to be. They wanted to go back.
Right, because it came from Ring of Honor, and it's, just pure wrestling, which is great. And, John, you got to admit, nowadays, you don't see a drop kick, really. No. You don't see a sleeper hold. You don't see a Boston Crab. I mean, getting back to the classics.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Masked Man. Yeah.
It's just a totally crazy world out there nowadays. But that's why I like AEW and the NWA. They're more wrestling, less show and BS storyline. I mean, McMahon, certain wrestlers, as we know throughout the years, just doesn't push them or give them a gimmick that's right.
Yeah.
And where AEW, WCW would use your real name, WWE is not using any of their real names, but like the fans are stupid. Well, we're not stupid.
Right. Well, wait till we some of your clips have some interesting gimmicks at the end there. And the one I'm still shocked is who it is because of our time with Maple Leaf Wrestling. When I heard who Dewey Robertson was, and I can't believe I didn't know this. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know it. I didn't know it for the longest time either. I just thought he kind of faded away and stopped wrestling, But what a somebody talked him into a great gimmick, and the rest of his career was really popular and probably made a lot of money.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely. Same thing with Kamala. His real name is Rick Harris. I have him wrestling kind of like a Mr. T look with the mohawk back in Southeastern Championship Wrestling in 1980. And then he became, as we know, Kamala. So a lot of things.
his manager was that Kimchi, whatever his name was.
Kimchi, and then they always would have like Blassie or
Right.
the Wizard or somebody else too.
What a thing, though, man. We couldn't do that in 2022. What an unbelievable, but everyone loved it. Was so, I don't know. You know what it is with wrestling, and this is what the people that don't watch it don't understand. You just get into it. Like it's a thing. You don't. It isn't what they want it to be out there. Those that don't understand. You know, I mean, it's kind of your time to just escape the real world in a way. You know, I don't know. That's the way I always saw it.
It's called, and I tried to say on one of the shows, it's like referred to as the male soap opera.
Yeah.
But yeah, since before the internet, obviously that was the best time, right? Because that's what they had us tuned into every Saturday. What's going to happen next? Who's going to come on? Who's going to be a guest appearance, you know, from another organization on WWF? Because back then, as you remember, John, Vince McMahon Sr. had a great relationship with the NWA, and they would share talent.
Right.
Like Bob Backlund was on Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Right.
They would go back and forth through the different territories back then. But then once Vince McMahon Jr. bought it in '83, well, then that was the end of that. But those were the days, and they still are to us.
And it's too bad, right? Because McMahon in the, you know, like we talked about the War to Settle the Score. You had a bunch of great clips, and that was awesome. The stuff WrestleMania was great too, and it just at some point
the early Saturday night's main events on NBC 11:30, taking the place of Saturday Night Live a couple times during the year.
Yeah,
I mean that was a great idea too.
Where it went wrong, I don't know. Where it went too, you might be able to pinpoint it because there was a point where, you know, Vince was great. I mean, you had to, I don't know, like he was like he saves it in a way, kind of, you know, because he brings it to another level. And man, I guess as soon as it had to become WWE, I guess that's when it changed, when he called it entertainment at that point.
Yeah, and then you know what though? I mean, to me, I think, and I think I said before, they should have fought harder, even if they went back to the WWF.
Yeah,
and not ever WWE, or they should have fought harder for that WWE letters, logo, trademark, whatever. I mean, but it is what it is there. I don't know, but
yeah. Well, why don't we do something before because you know we're getting close to where we take our first break. I was thinking before the first break, maybe we check out some of the Sheik tweets.
Sure.
You know, this is Charlie. Charlie loves the Sheik tweets. We all love the Sheik tweets.
We all love the Sheik tweets. Have a good laugh every week.
Yeah, and we saw a picture of the Sheik the other day, and he looks great, so that's nice. I mean, I'm not sure on his age. He's got to be in his 70s, I guess. You would imagine.
Just turned 80 or 81.
That's it, the birthday. Wow, looks great. Well, why don't we pull up one of his first ones? And this is a Mother's Day wish. I'll read it. Happy Mother's Day to everyone except that jabroni Hulk Hogan. Well, you know, that's it. I mean, yeah.
A week does not go by, as we know, without mentioning that name, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, and the
fact, as we know, John, Terry Gene Bollea.
Yeah, right. Hulk, and he's another guy who's got to be closing in on. Now, he can't be 80, but he's probably in his 70s. The Hulk Hogan by now.
Yeah, mid 60s, I believe.
Oh, that's it. Okay, and you know his back must have been ruined. He looks. I saw him on Twitter somewhere, like a video from the other day, and you could see his back is really hunched. His lower. I don't know if he. See, I don't know his history on that. You might. He must have hurt his lower
surgeries. Multiple back.
Is that what it was? Multiple, right? From that leg drop, maybe.
Knee replacements. Just taking a beating on that mat, and then slamming Andre and being slammed and slamming Stud and Bundy and just over years wear and tear. Has
the leg drop. That leg, remember that big leg drop he would do? And I didn't realize until you guys were talking about how hard the you just don't think of it, how hard the mat is. That right. It's not a trampoline. So it's, I can only imagine. The guy, I remember seeing some of those leg drops had to hurt the lower back. he's hitting his tailbone as soon as, because he.
Right, coming down on it. There was one, I got a match with him in the early on in his AWA career there, 81 to 83. He actually had he would always wrestle two opponents, right? And he would line them up in the middle of the ring and come up, and that big leg would drop on both of those guys. It was crazy.
Hulkster. And some people, yeah, maybe he was the beginning of it's great. Maybe he was the beginning of
it mainstream for sure.
Yeah, the entertainment portion, because I don't know. Let's look at what the Sheik has to say here. Again, sure. I believe this is it is a Hulk Hogan reference. Here he is. Well, say your prayers, take your vitamins, and go F yourself. Yep. So that's the Hulkster again. Right? That's him. You see it again. I took it off too fast.
Oh my God, yes. Unbelievable. There's only one Iron Sheik. Cosgrove Goveri, as we know, his real name. We got another one, Vern Gagne from the AWA started. And what a career.
And you got when we get to the clips after the break and stuff, we got some Sheik. And some really funny shit. Wait till you see this. This is outstanding. I talk about rare clips. I'd never seen this.
Yeah, and talk about too, John. I mean, me and you remember. I'm sure a lot of our viewers out there remember watching Mid Atlantic back in between 80 and 81. And that's some footage I don't have yet. Hopefully, like I said, one day when Sheik and Koloff went at it, and what a blood, bath feud they had against each other. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I think back. I can't. The other one too about Mid Atlantic, and I always forget. Piper was something else in there too. I mean, it was some good stuff. Well, you'll see. We got great clips. Wait till you see them. I don't want to ruin them.
Yeah,
it's the surprise. All right, let's see. There's one more. Now, this one's kind of close to me, as you see my Maple Leaf hat and Maple Leaf stuff.
Hockey playoff time.
Yeah, Leafs in Game 7, and here comes the Sheik.
And the Sheik recognizes it, huh?
Yeah, go Leafs, go, jabronis.
He must like him.
Yeah, that's weird. Now, he probably did a lot of time, I guess, Maple Leaf Wrestling with, right? And things.
Yeah, but under, Hussein, the Great Arab. Remember, John?
Okay. Yeah.
That classic cage match from Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens against the Angelo King Kong Mosca for the Canadian heavyweight title.
You go to Toronto now, and I've done it because I have gone to see the Leafs, but it's now Scotiabank Arena, a whole different place. It's sad. Maple Leaf Gardens still stands, but in there is there's a grocery store, and now they've made it into floors. The first floor is a grocery store. The second floor, which is kind of cool, is there's called Ryerson University. That's where they have a rink up there where they play their games, which is kind of neat, but still, you go in there, the legendary everything from not just the hockey, the wrestling, I guess concerts too are probably legendary at Maple Leaf Gardens.
But to us classic wrestling fans, it was always Toronto's Maple Leaf Gardens with the ramp there to the squared circle in the middle of the arena. Norm Kimber with a classic voice and ring announcements.
Yeah.
Just great.
Yeah, it was great. It was great times. But we're going to relive some of those times here in a few minutes. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break because you got to see our sponsors. We got great sponsors that now Falls Count Anywhere has really done a great job for us to find these guys. Let me roll it. We'll be back with some more classic wrestling, me and Chris and Falls Count Anywhere. Oops, hit the wrong button. Here you go.
Letchworth State Park is truly spectacular. Everyone should have the opportunity to enjoy this wonder of nature. The Autism Nature Trail at Letchworth will provide ADA-compliant accessibility and allow those with autism, as well as visitors of all ages and abilities, to push boundaries, explore new activities, and develop skills. Go to autismnaturetrails.com to learn more, and please help support this important project.
All right, we're back, and thank you to our sponsors. Real quick, Chris, before I get into stuff, I want to say something about Patriot Lawn and Land. Now, they're a sponsor here in Western New York, great sponsor. I just want to say something about them.
Sure.
And this is because no other reason other than, and I'll just say it like it is, I tried to load up the commercial, right, for them, because there's a new commercial for them, but I didn't want to not play the old one. The only thing is this. When you see their commercial, you see the dogs running, and it says on there, we'll do the dirty work for you. Well, they don't pick up dog mess. Like, you can't call them and say, hey, Patriot Lawn and Land, come clean the dog mess in the backyard.
Well,
they're there. Yeah, they do the grass. They do the whole thing. Their beautification. Just wanted to say that because it's funny. Because of your show that we get the shows, and especially Falls Count Anywhere, I talked to the owner, and he said, we're getting new clients. He goes, the only thing he said, do me a favor, let people know we don't just come in to pick up dog poop. You know, we do other things. So I just wanted to say that. So it's not forgotten. Yeah. So don't forget our store too a little bit. Go ahead, Chris.
Yes. Of course, we thank our sponsors for being with us on all of our shows here on Gorillas Inc. and throughout the country and world. And we also want to always promote our Gorillas Inc. store, which we have a lot of merchandise, T-shirts, mugs, hats, cards, wrestling figures, you name it, it's on there to buy. And, we always encourage that.
Yeah, definitely. And while you're out there watching and listening to us, of course, we thank you. Remember, like Chris said, this is worldwide. If you like what we're doing and you see the number, you can see the people that are watching, we're always here. We can get your voice out there too for your business. Without wasting any more time, this is the part of the show, Chris, about your library. You can say go ahead.
Right. Each and every week, these clips are provided by me, my personal library and collection, and I do not sell none of it. I don't trade none of it. It is my personal own that I always watch all the time, and get some clips together for this show each and every week for all of our classic fans across the world and country to enjoy.
Yeah. Well, why don't we start with our first clip? And this is Andre. This is a clips of Andre. Yep. Here, let me let it roll, and we can talk as the people are watching. Here we go.
Yep. This here, John, is a classic one. Nobody ever saw this one through Mid-Atlantic on 8mm film in an arena throughout the Mid-Atlantic area. A young Skinny Big John Studd against Andre the Giant.
Yeah, look at Big John. Big John Studd. Boy, I don't know how tall he is. I don't remember, but he's right there with Andre. I mean, look at him.
Yeah, I believe he was, I want to say 6'9". He was never 7 foot or anything. Andre got to be 7'4", and then here we go. Clip from 1983, the Body Slam Challenge for $15,000. As we see Classy Freddie Blassie making sure that didn't happen, and the money goes flying.
Yeah, and
Andre
I remember that.
Andre's thrown the money, and then of course, Studd's got to have a little payback.
Yeah, Big John Studd. But we've talked about it before. Yeah, look at this.
What a feud they had. I mean, that not just in the WWF, but throughout the territories.
Yes. And then and we added Blackjack Mulligan in with Studd. It was great. There was some good, huge wrestlers, man, just going at it. Look, oh, geez.
That's another thing. Here's a rare clip, John. I'm sure you didn't see before this. Studd actually wrestled with a mask on against Andre here in Japan.
Wow. Yeah. This is John. Wow. And I didn't even know that, Chris. I didn't know. You know what? As I watched you, I'm glad you told me. As I was at the studio getting them ready, because you get them ready and I just copy. I didn't know that was Studd. Wow. Yeah. Big John Studd.
I don't know why he wore a mask in Japan too. It's not like everybody didn't know who he probably was there either back then. So
a lot of Japan loves wrestling, huh? I mean, they love it like we do.
Yep, they had All Japan Pro Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling back in the day. And they still do have New Japan that is on every week here in America.
All right, let's bring up another group of classic clips. Here we go.
Oh, remember this, John? Mid-Atlantic, 1980. Bob Caudle, David Crockett. Out of the studio of WRAL-TV in Charlotte, North Carolina. Enforcer Luciano. What a character this guy was.
Yes. Here he is. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I remember this.
My hand probably would have been busted open and broke or felt broke. I don't. Crazy.
Oh, yeah. We're going to the emergency room on this. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
This guy. Oh. Wow.
Those are some thick cinder blocks, too.
Yeah. Wait till you see what he's going to do next. I can't believe when I seen this. I hadn't seen this guy in so long. I appreciate it so much. And now he's going to have a light bulb.
No.
Oh, boy. 100-watt bulb. Like it matters.
Yeah. 40-watt, 60-watt. Doesn't matter. Ugh.
There he goes.
Crunching on the glass. Oh.
Oh, boy.
Spit you out, Mulligan.
Oh, this is great. Here we go.
Here we go, right? This is 80-81 here. And what a feud that these two have had throughout the territories and over the years. Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, but the best of friends outside of the squared circle, I understand.
And this was Piper here. I mean, well, he's always been the same. He's unbelievable when you put a microphone in front of him. And this is great. I can remember this like it was yesterday. I remember the package. This is unbelievable. And well, you'll see what he's going to award Flair with.
Yeah, I mean, just that classic Mid-Atlantic studio set just gets me going. That was just great.
Yeah, the memories from this is just, and everyone out there, they've remembered that this is unbelievable. Piper, to me, is I almost think he's an underrated guy. When you think about it.
Yeah, a lot would say that, John. Definitely underrated. I thought he would be a WWF champion even for a month or two. I thought he would be an NWA World Heavyweight, WCW World Heavyweight champion, but I don't know why they didn't give it to him.
Yeah. I don't either. And he could have been bitter too. I have to say he never, we love the Iron Sheik, but we know what his problem is. Piper never really showed bitterness, did he? Or did I miss anything on him?
No, yeah, nothing that I ever heard of or know of. I'm sure he was happy at how what a great career he did have, though, over the years throughout the territories that he did wrestle, and of course, I personally miss him. A lot of people also miss the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, but I'm a Piper fan, and I miss Piper even just not being here.
Yeah. And towards the end, not towards, I remember he was doing some stuff with WWE. He would show up and have some Piper's Pits or something. And I guess he just loyal to Vince McMahon, because what happened with that, how he blew up from the War to Settle the Score was, I mean, that at one point he was really nationwide, that whole thing.
And
huge.
I understand the feud with Mr. T was not just a shoot, as they call in the wrestling business. It was
Really?
some real heat backstage there, Madison Square Garden, and wherever they filmed the TV stuff at 85, 86. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. T. Is Mr. T still, and I hate to ask these questions, but as we get older, we know they get older. Is he still with us, Mr. T?
Yes,
Do we know?
he is. Yes, he is. Okay. Yeah, and he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, but no Cyndi Lauper.
That's weird. Yeah, that makes no sense. Let's go to another clip. Great.
I beg your pardon? Oh, here we go. And I can't believe I had this. A lot of our friends locally and friends across the country and world. I don't know. Wow, what a classic Iron Sheik here.
The turkey.
The turkey is Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Stay down. Look at Mean Gene. Can't hold it. He's just dying.
He was going to be in the turkey tournament or something, it was called.
Yeah,
I don't.
And then here we got Iron Sheik trying to be Mean Gene.
Yeah, look at the people that are here. Yeah, look at the wrestlers and people that he's going to bring out. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, look at Junkyard Dog laughing. Wendy Richter. Mean Gene smoking there.
Yeah, smoking.
Howard Finkel. Iron Mike Sharp. Moolah. Look how young Moolah was here.
He's Ayatollah.
Oh, there's of course Nikolai. Oh, Kamala.
He just calls everyone Ayatollah.
Yeah. Oh, great. Just great. Yeah. And here we go. Quick clip from Talk About Maple Leaf Wrestling. This was the WWF Maple Leaf Wrestling, though, in '84, John.
Yeah.
And you just look at the way he bends and destroys this poor guy.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was, but it isn't. I thought maybe it would have been Silent Brian Mackney, but no.
No. And there's their referee, Terry Yorkstern.
Yep, there we go.
I actually have footage, John, and to all our fans out there, I have footage of Terry Yorkstern actually wrestling before he became this famous referee.
Wow. I mean, this footage is unreal. I love it.
And here he is, Norm Kimber.
There he is, yep.
And of course, the Sheik will tell you, Iran, #1.
Yeah.
USA, Hop 2.
Yeah. Oh, God. I can't. Between him and Piper, both underrated, I guess, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, for sure. The best.
Unbelievable.
They should have given the belt to the Sheik during '83 towards the end. Not just gave it to him for a month.
Yeah. The Iron Sheik. And he's still with us, thankfully, making us laugh every week. All right.
Does not go by. Go ahead, roll it.
Here comes some Piper stuff, I believe.
Classic. Here we go. Trying to poke fun at the Giant. It just didn't work.
That great set. Oh my God. Oh, none of your business.
The Giant. Only one, Andre the Giant. And this was one of the only very few appearances on the Pit.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Uh-oh.
Little teeny weeny brain.
Andre is just sitting here stewing. You can tell, getting pissed.
Oh, the slamming. Okay, John Studd.
No, that's right. He never did. We saw some clips, right, John, of only a handful of people that did slam the Giant here.
Yeah, and there were some really great deep Tommy from Japan and stuff. It was really unbelievable.
Yeah, and I love Piper here, but I don't think he could ever slam Andre.
Yeah, I don't think so. But oh boy.
Uh-oh. Down goes the Hot Rod on his own pit. Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's gonna fight. Uh-oh. Yeah.
Andre's just gonna throw him here. Yeah. By his own Hot Rod shirt. Look at this. There he goes.
Oh no.
And here we go, the classic line.
Yep. Oh man! Oh, look at this!
Classic indeed. Yeah, when the Macho Man first came on the scene here in the WWF 1985, and then John, you got to remember this one, John.
I do. Yes, I do. Hillbilly Jim.
Hillbilly Jim, Uncle Elmer, Cousin Luke went against Roddy Piper here and Jesse Ventura. This was the beginning of '86.
Yeah, that is great. Oh classic. My God,
the Hillbillies and Piper.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
I mean, and you know what? That's what we don't see nowadays. That I mean, as classic fans, gotta miss. I mean, like the tag team from Japan, Fuji and Saito, the Iron Sheik and Volkov, the Hillbillies. It's just all gone nowadays.
Yeah, it's all gone, and it is sad because, and I think the world just doesn't want. I don't know. The world can't handle it anymore. I don't know why, because all of it was done in good. You know, even back then, you didn't get much swearing on there. You didn't have stuff like that. There was nothing. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah, right.
It was just good wrestling and good. And you needed the story, and you had the story. And you're right. It's let's go to more.
When we wrestling and that, there's no swearing, and I don't condone any swearing in wrestling or classic wrestling. There's just no need for it.
And there never was. You're right. There never was. I think of the Mid Atlantic and all those things. You never had it. Never. No matter how fired up they'd get, you wouldn't get it.
Right.
You might get slapped, but that's about it. Like poor Billy Red Lions that time. Oh my God! All right,
let's go. Lord Hayes. Yes,
Lord Hayes. Oh, Lord Hayes. Let's.
Here we go. There's only one guy too here from Detroit, Michigan, George the Animal Steel.
Yeah, and what was the thing about him? He's supposed to be a very intelligent man.
Yes, he was a college professor, teacher.
Wow.
And of course, back in the day, I mean, had me fooled. I thought he didn't talk like Kamala. And then you see on these shoot interviews that they were just like me and you.
As a younger guy, I didn't like him. I remember growing when I was a kid. So I just didn't like him. But, wow.
But that also was the part that he played perfectly.
Oh, the poor guy got that all up in his nostrils, as Vince McMahon tells us.
The turnbuckle stuffings.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Oh.
Here we see, the debut of, like I said, Rick Harris became Kamala, the Ugandan Giant. And this was 82, I believe, Mid-South Wrestling studio back in the day, as we see Dave Brown there and Lance Russell. You know, we had his son, Shane Russell, on. What a great guy.
Yeah. Look at Kamala. And that's Kimchi with him? Or no, who is this?
This was before Kimchi, but he kind of played the part as Kimchi.
Yeah. Oh, look at Kamala. Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, he scared me when I was a kid. I mean, with that big mask and everything.
Yeah, and just...
it was great.
Studio wrestling was the best.
The best, yeah.
And here we go. Speaking of our Canadian friend and former Canadian heavyweight champion, turned gimmick here into the missing link, and what a
Dewey
gimmick that
Robertson.
was.
I was a big fan of Dewey Robertson, and when you told me that last week, I don't know how I missed it because I'm sure everyone around me knew. You know, because people knew about that, and boy, I didn't know he was the missing link.
Well,
and I didn't like the missing link, honestly. Growing up, he wasn't one of my favorites, but
I didn't know at the time either. I mean, there was a long time went by that I never knew who he was either. And when I heard that too, I couldn't believe it. But what a gimmick! What a great career that turned into for Dewey Robertson.
Kind of happy for him. Yeah, I'm glad because when he was on Maple Leaf Wrestling, he was the Canadian champ, and it was kind of he never got into it with the big guys, or he played what would be Mosca and maybe Dino Bravo, whatever. He wouldn't get involved with Piper and those guys, so right. I'm happy. That was good for him,
Yes,
what do we still have? Well, this part of the show that we do is Charlie, and I hope I can do this right for Charlie. He brings to us the jobber of the week, or would you say the enhancement talent we like to call it too?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Who I have a lot of respect for because they were a big deal of watching wrestling that I didn't even realize. Those guys, no matter how mad I'd get because they were coming out to the ring, were so important, And
right. Well, look, we had a great guest and a great interview with one of those guys, Jose Luis Rivera.
Oh, that was great last week. Yeah. And he showed us his masks. That was unbelievable. I want more masked wrestlers. We kind of talked about that last week.
That's another thing. Guys. Yeah. The Mil Mascaras, the Super Destroyer, the Masked Superstar, Wrestling 1 and Wrestling 2.
Oh, yeah. That time back, I think it was it AWA where, Sergeant Slaughter was masked with Lord Hayes as his manager.
The Super Destroyer Mark II.
Yes, with Lord Hayes. And Lord Hayes, unbelievable. Everyone, we've had some great clips of him. Funny, outstanding manager. We don't have managers anymore either. I think that's another thing we could use.
And you just, that's what I mean. The classics to this day, it's just, it's a whole different ball game nowadays. But that's why we got the classics and we enjoy them and we do this show and all our fans and viewers enjoy it just like our friends at the AWA Unleashed podcast. So we got to keep it going.
Definitely. Let's bring up our enhancement talent jobber, as some say, of the week. His name, now I'm going to say I don't remember this guy. His name is Russ Greenberg, or sometimes known as Ross Greenberg. Here's what I know of him. He was born in 1969, debuted in 1991, retired in 1999. 37 matches, no wins, no pay-per-views, WWF. His first taping in the WWF was him with another that they said unknown tag team, and they were defeated by Earthquake and Typhoon.
Oh boy.
In late 1991, Greenberg had two matches in the same night. First versus Ted DiBiase, then Jake the Snake, and he was squashed by both, is what the thing on the internet told me. His last match, 1999, he teamed up with Julio Sanchez in a loss to the Hardy Boys. So
yeah, you know what? I never heard of this guy either, believe it or not. But
there he is.
So many, and that's our salute to him this week.
Yeah, 8 years. It sounds like he had some great competition. Ted DiBiase, all these guys. I mean, the Hardy Boys is the last in 99. I did see as I was searching around about Russ Greenberg, he is still with us and he's still involved. He's got like a school of wrestling or something where he's teaching people.
That's good.
Yeah, so he's still around with us, and I don't know. Maybe he's a guy someday we talk to.
Well, we'll try. There's a lot of them that got schools now, John. And our fans, I know, of course, through Facebook and whatnot. Jimmy Valiant has a school. Austin Idol has a school. Ricky Morton has a school. Wow. Tommy Rich. So they're also Dustin Rhodes has a school. They're all, tons of people always still wanting to be in the business and keep the business going on.
Jimmy Valiant, right? Was he the Boogie Woogie Man?
Yes, sir.
He was great. Him and my other favorite one that was kind of that was Rock and Roll Zoom Off. He used to make me laugh. The only reason I put them together is because that rock and roll type of dancing around, whatever.
Yeah. I gotta have the clip here coming up. I'm sure you remember, John. What a classic angle and just great. I laugh every time I see it. Is when Bobby Heenan broke Zumhoff's radio on the corner post on the AWA, and the pieces of the boombox radio just shattered all over the place.
I loved it. It was the best. I always liked when musical instruments would get busted. I don't know, like when Piper broke the guitar, the honky tonk man, whatever he would do with, it was always a great time. But
real quick, remember on that Land of 1,000 Dances video they did with the WWF there? I believe Piper, somebody took a drum and broke over somebody's head.
I loved that. That was the best. Man, wrestling was WWF at the time. That wrestling was huge. Oh my God. Those people were so mainstream. Like I remember my grandmother knowing who Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper were. I mean, it was enormous. Right. For you guys out there that are younger, I can't even begin to explain what a time of life that was. Because in 85, let's say, you had things that were bigger than life. You had those guys. I remember, the Chicago Bears with that team, the 85 Bears. We do remember there was just bigger than life characters back then. And wrestling was at the forefront. Yeah.
And then remember that, of course, the Super Bowl Shuffle. And, of course, we saw Jim McMahon and William Refrigerator Perry step into the ring with the WWF and WrestleMania 2 there in Chicago.
Steve McMichael, too, right? He was he wrestled a lot. I think WCW.
Jimbo Corvert, Harvey Martin, Ed Too Tall Jones. There was a lot of people in that Battle Royal. That was great, too, back in 86.
Yeah.
Yes, poor Steve Mongo McMichael now is in rough shape. But, he was famous Chicago Bear, as you know, and turned into a wrestler in WCW. And I've got to say, give him his due. He was pretty good.
Yeah, and he's suffering from Lou Gehrig's disease now, and it's really sad. I saw him with I think Ric Flair. I saw some pictures where some of the guys were visiting him, and it's a sad, a sad thing when you hear that kind of stuff. But I'm guessing, Chris, before we one thing we got to do before we go is talk about our friend Elena DiPaolo.
You beat me to it. Go right ahead.
Okay. Elena DiPaolo is a friend of this show, Gorillas Inc., all the shows. We know her personally, know her family. She is a young lady. She's in her 30s. She has a beautiful little boy and a great husband who works really hard. Know these people really well, the dad, everybody. Well, anyways, she beat leukemia. Within beating leukemia, sadly, after she beats leukemia and cancer, one of her kidneys failed because of the medications to do it, to the point where she had to get dialysis. The kidney failed to stage 5, and now that she's in dialysis. The other kidney is doing fine, but is starting to lose its issue. It's starting to have issues too. We need a donor, and we need one. We want one before the year's up. 716-898-5001. That is the number for ECMC. Or Erie County Medical Center. Call there anywhere in this country, really anywhere in the world if you can get here. If you can be compatible with Elena, donate a kidney. Boy, what a way to, if you can do it, to save a family and a beautiful young lady who, if you do look up Elena DiPaolo's name, the most positive person you ever want to meet. I can't believe what she's doing. It's great. She's very strong. 716-898-5001. You go there and you call them. They'll just send you a packet. You can see if you're compatible by mail. After that, if you can't do that, go to all of our shows sites, my own page, Chris's page, everyone's page that's involved, and just share her story, please. Because if you share her story, someone out there is going to get it, and we'll find a hero out there that's going to help Elena and get it done by the end of this year. So
yes, we hope and pray for that every day, and of course we'll keep mentioning it as long as we have to.
Yeah, and real quick, Chris, before we go, my Maple Leaf stuff here.
Big game tonight.
Game 7 up there against the 2-time Stanley Cup champions, Tampa Bay Lightning. It's in Toronto. Too bad it isn't Maple Leaf Gardens, but I did go to a Maple Leaf Gardens playoff game once for the Leafs. It was an unbelievable place. Place was shaking. But anyways, the Iron Sheik told you, go Leafs, go.
Go, yep.
There he is again.
There it is.
So yeah, go Leafs, go. Whatever. I don't know. I'm used to the disappointment, Chris. You're a Buffalo. You know how that is.
Yeah, I know how that goes. Well,
same damn thing. So now next week, our friend, the guy who needs to be in this chair, Charlie, will be back. Charlie, right? Charlie Turner.
Yep. And we do have a guest. He is part of a show, Pro Wrestling Inside and Out, that is seen on YouTube and different platforms as well. Mr. Jack Lord will be joining us.
Oh, I can't wait. That's going to be great. And talk all the classics and everything else. And you've got a great, like I said earlier in the show, great lineup coming of incredible guests, big names, people that are just, you're doing a great job. You and Charlie, I will say, unreal. This show has caught fire, and thank you, because it's a lot of fun and we all love it because it's an hour that reminds me of back what I was talking about. You just get to escape a little bit for at least an hour before you got to go back and pay $5 a gallon of gas. At least I can have a little fun, Yeah,
and that's why we do it on Saturday, right? Because Saturday was really wrestling day, but now you got wrestling on Monday through Friday on every. It's just you got WWE, you got AEW, you got NWA on Fight, you got Impact Wrestling on Access TV, you got New Japan on Access TV. It's just all over. Competition is good. And, but yeah, it's not a Saturday thing anymore. But to us, it always will be.
And it always will be. And that's why this show is perfect. And you'll see it every Saturday at 2:00 right here on Gorillas Inc. And like you said, all these different platforms now. Gorillas Inc.'s YouTube channel. Falls Count Anywhere has their own Spotify,
Twitter.
If you're on Twitter, you can find it. We got you know what? As a matter of fact, there's a good idea. Go to Twitter, and Falls Count Anywhere has its own page. Give us a follow. We'll follow you right back. You'll see amazing how many people have followed the Falls Count Anywhere Twitter page in a short time. A lot of classics. A lot of people that love classic wrestling have tuned in, and they'll see the show on there too. So
that's great. That's right. I gotta get on there myself.
Yeah, we're getting you on there. You got to go on. All right, Chris. I guess we should sign off, man.
All right,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, and you join us each and every week. But this was great.
All right, let's sign off. We'll see you guys next Saturday. Charlie will be back. Take care, everyone.
Yep.